Hello everyone, this is your boy Ryan and I wanted to make another very quick video before launch of PoE2 about my final thought process and plans for the first playthrough of the game. Since I actually walked back on my decision to play Blood Mage minions for my first playthrough, and while Progenesis Ascendancy is extremely good, but to compensate that with recovery will take a lot of work and in-depth knowledge which we don't know yet. So yes, we are going with the Infernalist that offers a more straightforward buffs which are easy to utilize, especially for minions. I came to value the extra spirit from the Ascendancy being very helpful to get more auras activated or summon more permanent minions as needed. So here I have outlined a very artistic image that we will go over together and get some sort of realistic idea on what we can expect from a PoE minion gameplay. So here is the very artistic image that I have and I prepared in this beautiful paint file about what skills and setups I am going to be using. Keep in mind this is just a thought process or outlier of what we can expect from the game. This morning GGG confirmed that the Bind Spectre gem is not available at launch, so that means the only permanent minion for our early access launch is going to be the skeletons or the various types of skeletons that they have offered. So I am leaning toward a main damage skill of Skeletal Mage, and I want to use the Lightning Skeletal Mage specifically because of shock applications. Their lightning attacks are going to shock the enemy, and which will make it that the enemy takes increased damage. So this is my thought process for now, that Skelemage with lightning element Skelemage is going to be our main force of damage. As our sub DPS, we are going to add Frost Skeleton Mages. This is going to be at max 1 or 2 Skeletal Frost Mage. This is only to apply chill and potentially freeze enemies to give us utility, and in the process some DPS as well. If Frost Mages turn out to be not that great or very mediocre both in terms of damage and chill application, then we will completely remove this, and in this place we are going to add something else like an aura or maybe utility skills or another temporary minion. That's when we play it, we're going to experiment with it and we're going to see what we can do with it. Otherwise, Frost Skelemages, that's going to be our sub DPS. Then we have the Loyal Hound. This is the wild card, and most probably this is going to be our hard carry skill throughout the campaign up to like yellow maps. I am expecting that to happen because this is an ascendancy skill. This deals damage. This has a small AoE righteous fire, old righteous fire from PoE 1. That deals damage or fire damage to enemies around it. It also takes a portion of our incoming damage, so very cool skill. We want to support it with as much damage as possible and as little amount of defensive support gems as possible. We want to make it so that this can sustain on its own just by having passive tree notables from the passive tree that are survival related to minions. Okay, that's third skill. The other setup that I want to do is Raging Spirit. Okay, Raging Spirit is very cool in redesign. This is no longer a direct cast minion skill. Instead, this is now a reservation. It reserves spirit, and then when you cast any fire skill, it triggers, or rather it summons some Raging Spirits. The plan is to add this as a splash damage or mapping oriented clear. This is highly questionable right now if I am gonna use it or not, because if this is not enough damage, then we'll immediately replace it, and get more Skelemage with main Skelemages for more damage or other temporary minions. But yeah, Raging Spirit sounds really cool. That's why we're gonna use it with as much minion life as possible, along with Infernal Legion and minion instability to explode them and deal damage. This will also use the trigger, or not trigger, but cast on minion death. This will trigger the meta skill cast on minion death, which we gonna link with various types of offerings, curse setup as necessary. We reserve 2 slots for auras, a defensive aura with vitality support and an offensive aura with precision support. This is my initial thought process. Again, I don't know what we can manage, but this is so far this is my plan. The other thing is, since we are going to be using a Raging Spirit setup, we will need a trigger setup for the SRS. Currently, I think I'm gonna use either Fireball or just the Elemental Weakness Curse in order to trigger SRS. If Elemental Weakness triggers, that's great. If it doesn't, then we might have to add another sort of minion, or not minion, but another sort of skill like Fireball. The best case scenario is the Arsonist, the Skeletal Arsonist. It has a active skill that explodes low life minions for more damage. If that can summon SRS, that would be very good. That would be very cool. Okay, and we already discussed cast on minion death. It's a meta gem. We're gonna use it to trigger curses. Whenever SRS dies, we're gonna have offerings and curses activated via this way, or not curses, but other utility skills. Maybe, I don't know what they are in the game yet, but I'm sure there are utility skills that we can manage to use. Maybe get some double curse setups going or something like that. And then the final slot is temporary minions to build up a horde. Those corpse scorpion type of things, or raise zombies, whichever we can, to bolster the front line for mid shield type things, to make sure that we are safe, or maybe they can go taunt and stuff like that. Or if temporary minions are bad, in that case I guess we're gonna go and activate more auras to support the rest of our minion army. Okay, that is my final thought process for this early access launch. Too bad we don't have specters. I was really hoping to get some buffing specters or play with damage specters, maybe then use skeletal mages as utility, or not main damage source or something like that. But regardless, we will get bind specter gem soon. So in the meantime, while we don't have the bind specter, it's a good thing because we can see what rare monsters are good and have very powerful abilities. So when bind specter actually comes into the game, we can straight up go for it and get those damage specters going. So yeah, that is my plan for the early access launch tonight. This is a historical moment. They are expecting 1 million plus players. I'm expecting 2-hour queues and probably another sleepless night, maybe more sleepless nights. Okay, so make sure you log in, have fun, and with that, stay safe and stay sane, exiles.